Heron had not deleted the number. She told herself she would do it eventually. The way you tell yourself you will eventually sort through the clothes still hanging in a closet that belongs to someone who is no longer there. Her sister, Jill, had been dead for 3 months. The cause was a car accident on a highway outside Dijon on a Tuesday night in February. Heron had been the one who answered the phone when the hospital called. She had been sitting at her kitchen table eating instant noodles, and the call had come at 11:47 p.m., and after that she could never eat instant noodles again. The first message came on a Thursday morning in May. She was on the subway heading to work when her phone buzzed. The preview on her lock screen showed the name before she unlocked it. Jill. She sat completely still for 3 stops before she opened it. The message said only Uni, the word for older sister in Korean. Nothing else, no punctuation. Just the one word, sent at 7:43 in the morning from the number she had not deleted. She called the number immediately. It rang 6 times and went to voicemail. Jill's voice filled her ear, bright and slightly out of breath the way she always sounded on recorded messages, telling her she was unavailable and to leave a message after the beep. Heron had forgotten about the voicemail. She had forgotten that her sister's voice was still stored there, still available, still existing in some server somewhere, waiting to be heard. She sat on the subway with the phone pressed to her ear until the recording ended and the beep sounded, and she could not think of a single word to say. She told herself it was a technical error. Phones did strange things. Messages got delayed and arrived late. She had read about this happening. Messages from years ago suddenly appearing as if they had just been sent. Jiul had probably sent that message months ago, before the accident, and it had only now found its way through. This was a reasonable explanation. She wrote it down in her notebook because sometimes when she was frightened, she needed to see reasonable explanations written in her own handwriting to believe them. The second message came 4 days later. It said the blue coat. That was all. Heron stared at it for a long time. The blue coat was a coat she had taken from Jiul's apartment when she helped their mother pack up her sister's belongings 2 months ago. She had not told anyone she had taken it. She had not worn it. It was hanging in the back of her own closet, still in the dry cleaning bag it had come home in. No one knew she had it. She had not mentioned it to a single person. She went to her mother that evening and asked carefully, without explaining why she was asking, whether anyone had mentioned the blue coat. Her mother looked at her for a moment and then said that she had wondered where it went. That was all. No one else had asked about it. No one else. Heron drove home slowly, with both hands on the wheel, and sat in the parking garage of her apartment building for 20 minutes before she could make herself go upstairs. She almost blocked the number. She opened her contacts, found Jiul's name, pressed the 3 dots in the corner. Her thumb hovered over the block option for a long time. Then she put the phone face down on her bed and went to make tea. And when she came back, she had not blocked it. She did not examine this decision closely. She understood somewhere she did not want to examine that she was not ready to stop receiving messages from her sister, even if the messages were impossible, even if they frightened her, even if she did not understand what they meant or where they were coming from. The third message came at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday. It said, "Check the drawer." Heron woke to the notification sound and read it in the dark with her heart going very fast. She did not know which drawer. She lay still for a while and then she got up, because she had learned by now that she was not going to be able to sleep anyway. She went to the kitchen first, then the bathroom, then her desk. In the bottom drawer of her desk, under a stack of old documents, she found an envelope she had never seen before. It had her name on it, in Jiul's handwriting. The letter inside was 2 pages long. It was dated 6 weeks before the accident. Jiul wrote that she had been meaning to say these things in person, but kept losing her nerve. She wrote that she was sorry for the argument they had at their mother's birthday dinner 4 years ago, the one they had never fully resolved, the one that had left a distance between them that neither of them had known how to close. She wrote that she was proud of Hayden. She wrote that she loved her. The letter ended mid-sentence on the second page, as if she had been interrupted and meant to come back to it. She called her best friend Suman at 3 a.m. and read the letter out loud over the phone. Suman listened without interrupting. When she finished, there was a long silence, and then Suman said she should come over right now. She would leave the door unlocked. Erin said she was fine. Suman said she did not sound fine. Erin said she did not know how the letter had gotten into her drawer, or who had put it there, or how her dead sister's phone was sending her messages, and she did not know what to do with any of it. Suman came anyway. She arrived at 4 a.m. with convenience store coffee and sat on the floor with Erin and read the letter herself, and then they sat together in silence for a while. Suman asked who else had access to Erin's apartment. Erin said only their mother. Suman asked whether their mother could have found the letter and placed it there without mentioning it. Erin thought about this carefully. Their mother was not the kind of person who did things without mentioning them. Their mother mentioned everything, but it was the most rational explanation available, and so she held on to it. She asked her mother the next day. Her mother had not found any letter. Her mother had not been inside Erin's apartment in 6 weeks. Her mother asked why she was asking, and Erin said it was nothing and changed the subject. On the subway home, she sat with her hands folded in her lap and thought about the sequence of facts as she understood them. A message from a disconnected phone, knowledge of the code, a letter, and a locked apartment. None of these things were possible. All of them had happened. The fourth message came while she was standing in line at a coffee shop. It said I finished the letter. She looked at the message for a long time. Then she went home and found the letter where she had left it on her desk. The second page now had 3 more lines of text that had not been there before. The handwriting was identical. The ink looked the same age as the rest. She read the 3 lines. They said, I am not finished with you yet. I do not know how to explain what I am or where I am, but I am still here, and I am not ready to stop talking to you either. She wrote back. She typed into the message thread for the first time since the first message arrived, her hands unsteady. G-Yule, is this really you? She pressed send and then sat very still, watching the screen. 3 minutes passed. Then the typing indicator appeared. It disappeared. Then it appeared again. Then the message came, I do not know how to answer that. I only know I can reach you this way, and I do not have much time left to do it. And there are things I did not finish saying. They talked for 4 hours. Erin asked questions, and G-Yule answered some and deflected others. She said she did not know where she was or what came next. She said time moved differently, and she could not always reach through. She asked about their mother. She asked whether the hydrangeas she had planted in the window box of her apartment were still alive. Erin had watered them every week since the funeral, without fully knowing why. She told her they were. There was a pause, and then G-Yule said a single character, a heart. The last message came 3 weeks later. It said, I think this is the last time. I do not know why. I can feel it the way you can feel when a phone call is about to drop. I need you to finish the argument for me. Tell her I was wrong. You know which one. Tell her I said it first. And take care of the hydrangeas. And stop keeping my number. You are allowed to delete it now. I love you, honey. Do not be sad too long. I was never very good at being still, and I do not think that has changed. She deleted the number that afternoon. She sat with her thumb over the button for a long time, and then she did it, and it was done. She called her mother and said that G-Yule had wanted her to tell her something, and then she said what she had been asked to say. Her mother was quiet for a long time after that. Then she said, How do you know this? Erin said she just knew. Some things you simply know about the people you love, even after they are gone, especially after they are gone. That evening she watered the hydrangeas and stood by the window watching the sun go down over the city, and felt, for the first time in months, that the distance between them had finally closed.